When you have a night race, you kind of take for granted when those lights go on. No more after tonight. We've been delayed over an hour with the Lucas Oil 150 for the Camping World Truck Series here at Phoenix International Raceway, but the lights are back up. The drivers have been called to their trucks, and it is just about time to do battle for the 21st time in 2014. 1 week from now, we will decide our champion this season. Tonight, we take another step in the journey to what has been an amazing season.
And these drivers are going to forget about that hour delay. They're going to be right back concentrating on what they have to do here and when they get this command in a few seconds.
You spoke about the championship. That guy there, Matt Crafton, he just needs a steady, normal night. And Ryan Blaney, who's chasing him, needs to win this race.
Just like the lights, the drivers have flipped the switch. Time to go compete and time to go trackside for the command to fire engines.
And finally, for the most famous words in motorsports, please welcome your Grand Marshal, Sales and Marketing Advisor for Lucas Oil, Brad Benson.
All right, race fans, are you ready? On behalf of American veterans, drivers, start your engines!
He's a sales and marketing advisor, perhaps also a motivational speaker. Fired up, and aren't we all, as we get ready for what has been a bit of a delay tonight, but ready to go racing now, and should be a fun evening, as Michael talked about earlier. Phoenix, one of the most difficult but most entertaining tracks on the schedule.
I think the reason that it's so entertaining is just because of the layout. I mean, the way the turns set up, the banking, the sweeping. I mean, we're running up to 160 miles an hour on a mile track, Phil.
A little bit tighter radius down in 1 and 2. Banked a little bit more than the other, and you see 10 to 11 degrees, a little bit of progressive banking. Then the backstretch is one of the most unique straightaways that we have on the circuit.
That's our Camping World track description. Now our race analysis.
We can go about 75 to 80 laps on fuel. We'll come get some tires, possibly a couple of stops. Strategy could be a big part of this, baby. Talked about Ryan Blaney needing to make up a lot of ground. He might could do that with some tricks on pit road.
Last year here, the last pit stop was on lap number 90. 3 of our top 4 finishers took 2 tires only.
2 words you always mention when you come to Phoenix: track position. 23 races here, 17 times the driver that has gone to victory lane started inside the top 5. So with that, let's look at our starting lineup for Kyle Busch Motorsports. First time ever they've had a truck on the pole here at Phoenix, going for their 4th consecutive win at the Desert Mile tonight. Eric Jones on the front row with Matt Crafton and the Benz on row 2.
Yeah, great start by the teammates for Turner Scott Motorsports. Ben Kennedy, Ben Rhodes back in 3rd and 4th.
Tyler Reddick continues to impress on pole day.
Bubba Wallace, Timothy Peters. Timothy's been on quite a row. Good 4-race run for this team, looking to continue the momentum.
Had some surprises in qualifying today. You talk about Austin Dillon, who, of course, won the championship in the Truck Series back in 2011. And Jeff Burton, Johnny Sauter, both good in practice, share row 7.
Big Ray Galding, Brendan Jones, another couple teenagers back in row number 8.
Brian Blaney, a lot of focus on him tonight, coming from the 17th position.
Yeah, and you know, this place is tight. We talk about the room in the corners. There's going to be a lot of side-by-side racing. Blaney's got to be careful starting back that deep in the field, not to get involved in someone else's mess.
For the drivers we see here, starting outside the top 15, when you qualify in a position like this, knowing how important track position is, did your game plan change before the green flag even went in the air?
Well, I think it did, but what we talk about is that just so many people will do 2 tires anyway, so maybe no tires would be something you would have to do, because there's going to be a lot of your competitors doing two tires as it is.
And that's the 77 truck, Vermont Quiroga, all the way back at the 24 starting spot. That's a top 5 truck. He could run to the top 5 from that starting position, but it's going to be challenging.
34 Camping World trucks rolling off the grid. They will make their way onto the flat 1-mile surface here at Phoenix International Raceway. And before we go green, we hear from our pit reporters. They've been working so hard already tonight. We start off with Ray Dunlap. What's going on, Ray?
Well, Adam, you know, that big engine explosion last week took Darrell Wallace out of the championship, but it's been a great season for him. 3 wins, St. Louis, Eldora, and Martinsville. But sometimes when you come to the racetrack, track, you just have confidence because of the truck that you're driving. And tonight he's in lucky chassis number 7. There have been 5 different drivers win with this, but you'll notice that 3 of those times there was a victory. It was right here at Phoenix. So Bubba Wallace in chassis number 7, very, very confident that he can go to victory lane and cap off what's already been a great season. Hermie Sadler?
Well, Ray, for most of this season, when talking about who could be the next first-time winner in the Camping World Truck Series, we've talked about Herman Quiroga. What a up-and-down season he has had. It looked like about 10 races ago up in Canada on the road course that he could be going to victory lane for the very first time. Coming off the last 2 corners at CTMP, barely loses the race to Ryan Blaney. But look, a couple other opportunities at Martinsville, going for the lead, 4 wide on the bottom. He spins, does not go to victory lane. At Texas, inside of his teammate Timothy Peters, gets loose. A good run, gone bad again. Look at these finishes: Chicagoland, Loudon, Las Vegas, Talladega, Martinsville, and Texas. This truck has had speed, but Herman Quiroga knows that he needs to finish it off and try to go to victory lane. The speed is there. They just need a little luck at him to make it work.
Without question. And a tough break for them tonight as they start back in that 24th position. Herman, one of the many drivers we'll keep an eye on this evening that will try to play some sort of a strategy game, try and work their way up to the front of the field.
So he's only got channel 1, is that right? This is channel 2, but yeah, that's right. Got 2 radios in there. We tried both, and they both doing the same thing. Guess I need to definitely get with Racing Electronics and get it figured out.
Always confuses me why all those things happen right when the race starts. They've had those radios in there all weekend.
Been fine for 2 days, and all of a sudden, they have problems.
When you really need them the most.
Kind of goes from bad to worse for Ryan Blaney, who already found himself back in the 17th position at the start of this race, and perfect timing because we're going to go into our onboards, and we start out with old driver 29.
Yeah, Ryan Blaney's going to carry a forward EcoBoost camera. Ryan Blaney's been to victory lane here. He won here in the K&N race, but we've talked about it all night. He's got to make something happen. He needs to get that truck to victory lane, and he will do it from 17th.
Let's go 1 row ahead. 15th, that's Gray Gaulding. He's starting his Gemini Southern Krispy Kreme Chevy from right there. Gray also a winner here at the Phoenix racetrack. He won last fall in the K&N Series as well, so knows how to get it done here.
Why don't we ride along with our championship leader? There's Matt Crafton in the Menards Toyota. Matt has more top 5 finishes this year than he ever has in his career. He starts from a great starting position up on the front row, looking to try to hold on to that point lead and maybe even increase it.
Phil, I just hate to keep one-upping you, but I'm going to go on board with the pole sitter. Let's jump on board with Eric Jones. He's going to start his Dollar General Toyota from the pole. He's picked the outside. He thinks that's the way to lead this race down into turn 1.
In the better late than never category, we are set for the green flag at Phoenix. 115 minutes behind schedule because of a power issue. But now the lights going on for real. Front row, Eric Jones alongside Matt Crafton. Jones chooses the outside lane. 150 laps of fun tonight in the desert. We are green at Phoenix International Raceway. And already damaged. Check it out. John West Townley and others. Herman Quiroga among those that got damaged before we even got the green flag, and already caution on the track.
Man, that's a huge mistake. There's the front straightaway is really flat here at Phoenix. You can't see up ahead as well as you would hope, but you got to be cautious on this first start. Having a crash like that is nearly unacceptable. And you can see several trucks piled in each other.
Yeah, normally it's a chain reaction thing, but usually it's the guy towards the very back that gets the worst of it. Looks like we've had several trucks, including that Zaxby's truck for John West Townley, that have a lot of damage.
Saw Justin Jennings pull his truck to the garage. Let's go back and see what happened coming off of turn 4 to the green flag.
Look at him seize up there.
John West was just on the gas, and they weren't ready to go yet. That's just a situation where that talk needs to happen well before the green flag flies. Reminding your driver, the spotter's job, to remind the crew chief, to remind the drivers that accordion effects happen here. There's going to be chain reaction accidents on the front straightaway because you can't see, and that's exactly what happened.
Those are the 2 guys right there. The yellow truck is John West. The blue truck is Herman Quiroga.
Brian Silas right in front of him in that white truck. He might have got some damage as well.
Yeah, somebody went and then didn't go, and that's really what caused it. We're hearing it might have been the 33 of Brandon Jones.
Yeah, he was right in front of Mason Mingus, and all those trucks were getting the green flag in that outside lane, and each of them starting the race outside the top 20. What a tough weekend for this group. Had to go to a backup truck when Herman was involved in an accident late yesterday in final practice. You go through all the extra work to put the backup truck on track and not even a lap in, and already repairs underway. Under caution early here at Phoenix. Starting to get late on a Friday on the East Coast. Lucas Oil 150 on Fox Sports 1 for the Camping World Truck Series. Delayed over an hour because we had a power outage here in Avondale, Arizona, and now a slow start to the race.
Now we're delayed over a power plus.
Way too much power.
Yeah,
way too much power.
We went to the gas too soon and had a major accident on the French straightaway. Could you imagine waiting around for that long and then it'd be over that quickly?
Not even get to the start-finish line.
Now our Ford Track Facts. 24th race for the Truck Series here, and you know, it all began at this place, February 5th, 1995, when who went to victory lane?
Mike Skinner.
There you go.
Past Terry Labonte on the last lap for the win.
Kind of was a hint to what we could expect over the next 20 years. These guys have raced these trucks as hard as you can race. The races are short, the action's intense. Sometimes we wreck before we even get to the green flag. Literally.
You guys have been around this sport all your life, right? That's fair to say. So when they started this truck thing almost 20 years ago, did you think it would gain the momentum and have the success and be as popular as it is today 20 years later?
Personally, I didn't, because I was in the Busch Series at the time, and that was a competitor. To me, that was taking some of our races and some of our money, I felt like. So I wasn't really for that. But now, I've been doing this since 2001 full time, and I just love this series.
I wanted a truck when I saw it all start to happen.
Let's see what happened again. And they bunched up really from Brandon Jones on back.
Yeah, Brandon Jones had a bit of a gap between he and Johnny Sauter, the truck in front of him. You can see Brandon, he's on the outside behind the white and black truck. You see that little bit of a gap. He takes off and drives up to Johnny Sauter and then couldn't go anywhere, and they accordioned after him.
Yeah, and Sauter was just being cautious on the truck in front of him. You could tell
he had nowhere to go.
He was just being patient, knew he's just going to work his way down to the first turn, and they almost ran into him from behind. But you're right, Phil. The run that Jones got and then he stopped, no one else stopped.
And the reason you see the trucks coming down pit lane, that they've not been coming down for service. They've just been taking care of the front straightaway with all the cleanup crews, and so therefore they don't want the trucks out there impeding their progress. So officially we've completed 5 of our 150 laps, and we hope to have some racing real soon. Still under caution at Phoenix International Raceway. Only 8 laps into the 150 that make up the Lucas Oil 150. Just had gotten the green flag when some drivers outside the top 20 unable to anticipate the green going in the air, and they collected one another, and that's why we sit here running under the caution.
The outside line is where the problem happens.
There's a problem on the inside too, but they've got a room to make evasive action or take evasive action. The outside line's all bunched up, nowhere to go. And that's the result.
The headliners involved, John West Townley, Herman Quiroga, and Justin Jennings also has taken his truck to the garage. Hermie?
Well, Adam, I've got Herman Quiroga race got messed up before it really even got going from a driver's seat. What happened on the restart?
Well, not even getting to the green flag. I think it's a shame for us. We're trying to move forward in the championship, and I mean, getting wrecked last week, and this is just getting out of our hands. And I try to avoid it, but as you can see on TV, it's so hard. And by the time everybody gets rolling, the spotter tells you rolling, right? So we were just almost flat out, and then everybody stops. So it's a shame. I feel bad for all the folks, Net and Wireless and Otterbox and everybody home. So we'll keep on fighting. We have one more chance, one more shot, and hopefully we can get a win this year.
Disappointing night for Herman Quiroga, Ray.
Standing by with John West Townley. He is out of his Zaxby's Toyota. Looks like the guys have given up. Are you officially done?
Unfortunately, you know, it busted the radiator, and whenever that happens, you hate to keep running the motor. You know, a deal like that, it really is unfortunate here because the spotters are, positioned in turns 1 and 2, and all they can see is an aerial of the trucks coming towards them. So, it's just one of those give and take deals, and when you're in the truck, you can't really see anything as far as like when you and the guy like right in front of you. I mean, I was 2 feet off that guy, and it was just chaos from there. I mean, I wish there was something I could have done more. It sucks that it ended this way.
The 05 officially out on lap 1.
They've had a couple of top 10s this year, Ray, but unfortunately plenty of disappointment as well for John West Townley and his night over, as he said, before it really even began. Eric Jones started on the pole. He's our race leader. Hopefully the green flag when we return. One week away from deciding a champion of the Camping World Truck Series. 2 drivers still alive. Matt Crafton, 23 points in front of Ryan Blaney as we entered competition here tonight. Crafton doing everything he can to win his 2nd consecutive title. Started on the front row. And for Ryan Blaney, qualified back in the 17th position. And no positions have changed hands yet, because just as the green flag went in the air tonight, we got a caution, problems on the start, and so we're trying to get the mess cleaned up here on the front straightaway. So finally, we can see some green flag racing, something we have not been able to get done so far.
And the guys really don't know what they have. Obviously, they took the green flag, and then they all wrecked at the back half of the field. So they went down in turn number 1, and that's really all they got to go before the caution flag came out. So, when we restart this race and 3 or 4 laps, potentially, maybe even more, then it's going to be just like starting from lap number 1. And this is a short race, only 150 laps. We're almost 10% into this race right now, and only ran 200 or 300 feet under green.
A short race and getting shorter because of all these laps under caution that take away the opportunity you have to gain positions, learn what your truck is all about, and then maybe get an opportunity to come down and work on it. And we talked during the setup and during qualifying today about some of the names that were so impressive and getting a good starting position. We mentioned Eric Jones, who's on the pole, and our championship leader, Matt Crafton, who qualified in the 2nd spot. But Ben Rhodes, only his 4th start in series history, and he's able to go out, put it 3rd on the grid tonight. Spencer Gallagher qualified 5th. Tyler Reddick in the top 10 again. John Hunter Nemechek, another one of our teenagers, doing such a good job in qualifying. So if there's someone you'd like to pick out to root for, pick one of those teenagers up front. If you don't normally watch the Camping World Truck Series, there are some great candidates out there. You become a fan now and you can root for them for years, because the foundation for the future in NASCAR certainly has been laid strong here when you talk about the Camping World Truck Series.
Hey, let's shout at Bubba Wallace and see if we can say hello to him, see what he's thinking. Hey, Bubba Wallace, is Michael Waltrip up in this Fox Sports 1 booth. I was just wondering what this is doing to your psyche, riding around, wanting to race, having all this waiting going on.
I am bored right now, bud. I'm ready to go. What about that hat Jerry's wearing, bud?
Yeah, he's looking good in that hat. And I just wanted to tell you, you guys at Texas, after that disappointment, you and Jerry's emotion for the event and what that meant, that was touching. And I know it feels good for you to see your buddy wearing that hat, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But Texas is behind us, man. That was a bummer. And we'll go out here and get us one here in Phoenix. It's time. 2 weeks is way too long to be out of victory lane. So we'll get us another one here tonight.
Well, I love that paint job, bud, and it was fun watching you take them down at Martinsville. Have a great race. Appreciate you talking to us. We just wanted to see what it felt like to sit around for a couple hours. We were supposed to be racing.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. Y'all have fun up there.
Nice hat, Jerry.
There you see Jerry wearing that Tennessee hat. I wonder if that's from Bubba's collection or if he just orders new every time the Volunteers beat the Gamecocks.
And we know Jerry Baxter has a monitor, so he knows that we're watching him wear that hat.
Well, he was real quick to pull me aside today to share with me that Bubba left the game early last week when it didn't look too good for Tennessee. They rally 17 points in the fourth quarter, 14 in the last 4 minutes, and got the big win on the road.
And I guarantee you Baxter's thinking, you know, Bubba's getting a lot more play out of this hat than I suspected that he might because of the delay and being able to talk to Bubba. So that's a fun group of guys there working for Kyle, and don't be surprised if Bubba's contending for this win tonight.
Makes your life a lot easier, though, at the track when you have that kind of business going on, doesn't it? When you have that team camaraderie and you share some opportunities away from the racing life, it makes your life at the track so much easier, I'm sure. You see Bubba Wallace. I mean, the last 6 races, minus what happened last week at Texas, he's been as hot as anybody.
Yeah, 3 top 2 finishes in the last 5 races. Very
8 of them this season.
Yeah,
really,
and really got off to a slow start. Kyle talked about it a little bit when we talked to him. Got off to a bit of a slow start, or he certainly would have been a contender here with 2 to go had he not had all that trouble early on.
And I know it's got to feel good for Baxter to have that truck tuned up where he could race it at Texas like he did. Get up there and race with Kyle Busch and lead the race and be a part of the story. If you're going to go out of a championship battle, leading the race when your engine goes down is the best way to go out.
First 5 races this year, only 1 finish better than 15th for Bubba Wallace.
A number of drivers doing double duty this weekend in some way, shape, or form. We mentioned Eric Jones running the truck race tonight, and then he'll run nationwide tomorrow for Joe Gibbs. Gray Galding, one of the drivers that competed last night in the K&N West race and running the truck event here this evening. And yesterday he was able to finish second, so he feels pretty good about himself. Not as good as he did a year ago when he was able to win that K&N West race here at Phoenix, but he's a very talented driver, and he's 15th tonight.
Getting those tires warmed up, ready to go racing finally.
Let's get a report on our race leader, Eric Jones from Hermie.
With it coming around to 1 to go, Adam, as you can see, and a lot of talk on the radio between Eric Jones and his crew chief, Eric Phillips, about how clean the racetrack may be and if they want to take the top side on this restart based on the condition of the racetrack. But as you can see, he has taken the top side, but they're not 100% certain that this racetrack is ready.
They'll be the first one to get there, too, if it isn't.
Well, to start the race, things got interesting in a hurry, and based on that report, they may get real interesting again. Outside lane for Eric Jones. That's what we expect to see throughout the night. Same thing he did when we started the race.
Well, we'll see. They're actually going to add another lap here. We're going to not go green this time. They're going to give us another lap to make sure the racetrack's clean. But as far as the outside goes, I think it's a good call because we see so many trucks get pinched down on the bottom of the racetrack. Now, the groove really is pretty much the bottom down in 1 and 2, especially early on. So we could see some great racing there on restarts.
Yeah, I like the outside because of what you said, Phil. We talked about speeds upwards of 160 miles an hour in these trucks here at Phoenix. That means aerodynamics play a big part of how they handle in the corners. And when you've got a truck down on the inside of you, he could get loose. So you've got to be aware of that. And we saw a great example of that on the last lap at Texas last week with Timothy Peters. He felt like his teammate was getting a little bit squirrely under him. He moved up the hill. It caused Armand went ahead and spun out, but it didn't take Timothy with him. So these drivers not only have to be cognizant of the fact that the truck on the inside of them could get loose. If they do get loose, they're coming up. They got to give them a little bit of space. So it's the first start. First time we're going to go wide open down into turn 1, I hope. And look for the guys in the top lane to give some a little bit more room on the bottom.
Just try to see better.
Still some concern for our race leader, Eric Jones, about the condition of the track. But the lights are out on our pace vehicle. And we will put the green flag back in the air as we complete lap 18, but it will be only our second lap under green.
Starting on you.
A lot of time it stains the racetrack, so it may not be quite as bad as what they think.
Be interesting to watch that kid there in row number 2, Ben Rhodes. Talked about could Crafton get a little bit loose underneath Eric Jones, and what will Ben do? Will he try to take advantage of that?
Pace vehicle on pit road. Eric Jones outside lane, Matt Crafton to his left. We are green once again at Phoenix. Problems for Eric Jones. teammates going at it for third. 32, Ben Rhodes inside of the 31 of Ben Kennedy. And Joey Coulter right behind him. Nice save by Rhodes, who slid right.
The other end of the racetrack down in 3 and 4, but exactly what we were talking about, getting loose on the inside of another truck.
Boy, and that was loose again is Rhodes. He dove down into turn 1. His truck didn't stick there either. And look, you can see Spencer Gallagher up the hill. These guys are all over the place early. Look how short cut Greg Alding took there. He cut way down low on the back straightaway, and that's fine.
You'll see that a lot off of turn 2 using the dog leg here at Phoenix. On board with Greg Alding. In front of him, teammates Jeb Burton. That's left of your screen in the yellow truck, right beside Johnny Sauter in the white 98.
Burton's really vulnerable down there where he's at, not getting loose as well.
And finally, it goes around on him. Rookie Ben Rhodes. Looked like there might have been a little contact, some damage on the left rear of Rhodes' machine. Second caution of the night, comes out with 20 laps complete. He was running in the 5th position. And another rookie, Matt, tipped sideways.
Matt tipped around as well, that 45 truck. I believe that might have been Johnny Sauter that came along and made slight contact with Ben Rhodes.
Yeah, that was a point in the spin there where Rhodes should have probably had the brakes locked down. That truck was rolling up the hill, and Johnny was trying to get through a really tight space there, and they made a little bit of contact. Luckily, not a lot of damage to either, it doesn't appear.
We know that Ben Rhodes has been fighting loose since this restart here. Looks like he gets in the back of Joey Coulter. Not as much of a situation of being loose as it getting in the back of Joey Coulter as they went down the corner. Let's see who comes along. It is Johnny Sauter that comes along and makes a little bit of contact with the left rear corner of Ben Rhodes.
As a rookie, you're always told once she starts spinning, just try to lock her down, and hopefully that will keep others from running into you. And that was really close for Johnny Sauter when Rhodes continued to move up the hill.
Other drivers have a better chance of missing you if you stay in the same place, because they can commit, and they've committed. Johnny committed to the high side. You can see the damage to the left rear of Johnny Sauter's truck. Watch this. Johnny's going to commit to the high side. Ben Rhodes right now, if he stays right there, Johnny would have had plenty of room to get by. You see him back up the racetrack, as Michael said, let off the brake.
And there's a wall up there too, so it'd been a good time just for self-preservation to have the brake on, but then also so the others could avoid you. That's right, Phil.
Good news for Ben Rhodes, the fact that he didn't hit the wall, no major damage, stays on the lead lap. Unfortunately, Hermie, he's gone from 5th to 24th.
Yeah, Adam, and he will come to pit road, and he's been having a conversation with his crew chief, Mike Hillman Jr., and he told Mike that his truck has been getting loose when he's been getting on the brake. He mentioned going into the middle of the corner, truck in front of him checking up. He slammed on the brake. It happened twice. First time he got away with it. Second time, the truck spun around. So they're talking about trying to adjust the brake bias on this truck, but he will hopefully be coming back to pit road to make a few more changes to that 32, as well as a little bit of repair to the left rear.
And Jordan Anderson in the 50, one of those drivers that had come down pit road earlier, lost a lap, but he gets it back here, receiving the free pass. First truck, 1 lap down under our second caution. The Camping World Truck Series garage here at Phoenix opened this morning 11 hours ago. It's been a long day for these crews and the competitors, and now we find ourselves only 25 laps into a 150-lap race, and really so far haven't gotten a whole lot accomplished on track. Had the caution come out immediately when we had the issue stacked up prior to the start-finish line at the start. A handful of laps under the green flag after we cleaned that up, and youngster Ben Rhodes slides around over in the corner, bringing out our second caution. Time to find a little rhythm, right, guys?
It is. It's. We don't even know who's going to be good yet. We haven't run enough laps to know if these guys' qualifying setups are going to transfer into good race setups.
Easiest laps Eric Jones has ever led.
All the practice done into the sunny skies too, and now racing at night. There's a lot of unanswered questions still.
Green flag back in the air as we complete lap 26.
See Matt Crafton fight back on the inside. You know Matt would love to get up there, go ahead and lead a lap, get a point. I don't think we got another one around.
Spencer Gallagher, Timothy Peters, Jeff Burton all involved.
Gallagher took out Peters by getting loose on the bottom. We have talked about that a lot.
Guys, we got up to left front as well.
Been a common theme in this race, hasn't it? Look at all the damage to one of the hottest trucks and teams in the sport as he comes in here the last 4 races.
And another guy that's been fast over the last 3 weeks, Jeb Burton, in trouble early.
Did we mention the moon is 98% full tonight?
We looked at the moon. It was a pretty moon.
Hey, and Spencer
look at it
Gallagher
here.
started 6th. I mean, this kid came in with high hopes.
He just went in and didn't make the turn, didn't turn left. I don't know if when he first maybe turned for the corner, it got a little bit loose and he had to correct for it. But he just got in too hot or too sideways, one or the other. Let's see if we can see exactly what he does. You can see the 14 truck of Austin Dillon.
I think he was trying to give Austin a little bit of room, and then Timothy Peters was there.
Terrible.
Hard contact for the 23 of Spencer Gallagher.
Terrible break for Peters too, because Timothy was just chilling. Plenty of room for Gallagher to be down lower. That's what I don't really understand. It's like he saw Dillon make that move and it surprised him a little bit. When he got to the turn, he just didn't pull it down to the left enough.
And certainly Timothy Peters expected him to take the normal line down into the corner. This is from Ryan Blaney's Ford EcoBoost on board.
Go low, come on through here, outside.
But you
Nice
know,
job by the spotter on that
if
one.
you can get through that and you're Ryan Blaney, it's a great thing because he just picked up 5 positions the easy way. I mean, he's gone from 17th to 12th, and we really haven't even had a chance to get going. That could be big for him as the night progresses. Spencer Gallagher, high hopes tonight. Unfortunately, he sits idle on the pit lane. 28 laps completed, Phoenix. Here at Phoenix, and we're only 31 laps into the Lucas Oil 150. This incident involving Spencer Gallagher, who is in the garage right now, scored in 30th. And the other 2 drivers involved, Timothy Peters and Jeff Burton, they are both outside the top 25, but both have stayed on the lead lap, come down and gotten repairs. How do you assess their situation going forward?
Well, the tough part about Peters, I think they've done a nice job of patching up the right rear quarter panel that was all messed up. You can see they continue to work on it. We really need that quarter panel here at Phoenix. Speeds are up 160 miles an hour. We lean on that in the corner in order to get around the corner. So that repair looks like it's going well, and I like what they're doing there. I'm worried a little bit about the left front. You can see the damage on the nose on the left side. They're dropping the truck onto that aluminum to bend the splitter up. The truck's front end runs so close to the road, if that thing's bent down, it'll mess up all the handling of the truck. It'll hit the road, and that left front tire won't stick. So that's my concern.
It looks like they've done a nice job of getting that splitter up there on the left front.
What's the word for Jeb Burton, Ray?
Well, guys, they just did a similar process down here by putting a couple blocks of wood underneath the splitter. You drop the jack down a little bit, and that'll help curve that thing. It had damage on the front of the nose, so Jeb Burton said his steering wheel's cocked a little sideways too, but you see how that splitter is not even. They're trying to get that a little better.
Burton coming off his best run of the season, 2nd last weekend at Texas.
Timothy Peters goes a lap down here, finishing up the repairs. NASCAR's watching over what the team's doing, and the left front seems to be maybe where the issue indeed is. We'll see if they can get back on the road. And it isn't over. It's still early in the going. Maybe you get a free pass and get back in this thing if the truck isn't damaged too badly.
I was going to say, the way the cautions are building up, being a lap down, you know you're going to get the free pass pretty quickly because we're likely to have another one. I mean, they've been early and often.
And if the truck gets repaired and it's fast, then he's certainly going to be the leader to try to get the free pass. He will be the first truck not on the lead lap.
And this start here, we got to get down the front straightaway, okay? We know that's been a challenge. We also have to run side by side with trucks on the bottom that are going to want to get loose. We've had a couple of warnings here. Let's see if we can get it right this time.
Front row once again. Eric Jones, Matt Crafton. Green flag back in the air is lap 33. Goes on the board at Phoenix.
Crafton's able to hold really strong against Jones. We saw him peak to the bottom on that last restart. There's Timothy Peters leaving the pit. He's going to be a couple laps down. That makes the job even tougher yet.
Nice battle there for 3rd. Joey Coulter inside of Ben Kennedy. John Hunter Nemechek going after Bubba Wallace on back at just outside the top 5.
Tyler Reddick jumps to the inside of Joey Coulter.
Reddick going to a lot of tracks for the first time in his career. He has been a sponge when it comes to knowledge, getting better and better as the weekend progresses and as the season goes on.
Yeah, he's piled up some top 5 finishes here lately, right? No, John Hunter gets a little bit loose on the inside of Coulter. Look, all 4 tires down below the yellow line in the corner.
Let's not forget, last time we went to a flat mile, that's where John Hunter Nemechek got his career best.
Well, the thing that I like about this racetrack is the options that you have. That difference in the banking between the apron and the turn itself, the track itself, allows these drivers to put those tires down on the flat. It helps the trucks turn into the corner better. So there's all kinds of places where you can change your handling of your truck yourself without even an adjustment from the crew.
Riding along with our Ford EcoBoost camera for Ryan Blaney right now, currently runs in the 13th spot. That's the 33 of Brandon Jones right in front of him. Ryan is, he through attrition, he got some spots. Looks like he may lose a spot here to Cole Custer. Cole's going to drive that 00 right up underneath him and take that spot.
Johnny Sauter, who had problems in practice yesterday, stayed late last night, came in early this morning to work on that machine. It's paying big dividends. He's up inside the top 10 now, running in the 7th position.
Yeah, qualified back in the 14th spot, so a good run early for Johnny Sauter.
What about Gray Galding? He's moving his way around Bubba Wallace. Good strong run early on for Gray. You can see those two, Blaney and, Bubba way up out of the groove. Blaney and Custer switching that position back and forth.
Right behind them, that would be Brian Silas, the final truck in the top 15, Hermie.
54 is going backwards, as you can tell. Ryan Blaney looking to the inside of Bubba Wallace. Truck will not turn in the center of the corner. He just came through turns 1 and 2 last time by with the Mike Key asking his crew chief, Jerry Baxter, look at this truck. It will not turn. You can see a 4-wheel skate, and it goes to 29 by the 54. The 54 really needs to come to pit road.
You know, trouble. Joey Coulter around.
Flat right rear tire on that car. Hard into the wall. Looked like the left rear tire was
We
down.
just wrecked down into 3. Hard left side contact.
Single truck accident.
Running inside
Brings
the
out
top
the caution.
10. That had a left rear tire down on the back straightaway. It makes you wonder if someone maybe got a little bit loose on the inside of Coulter, hit his left rear, causing the problem.
A lot of times we see trucks make contact and it tears out the valve stem. These are single valve stem wheels mostly here because they do not run interliners at this racetrack.
That's a helpless feeling when you lose a left rear tire on the back straightaway right before it went down wide open in the gas, and then things start to deteriorate, and it was just a long slide right into that outside wall.
40 laps in, and this is that stage where you start thinking a little bit about strategy, right? I mean, prior to this, no way you're going to come down pit road as we look at the replay one more time, but I'm sure probably see some drivers pitting here as we see Coulter losing it over off the corner.
Nice job by Brennan Newberry getting by.
And Bubba too. Bubba Wallace is up on the high side. Look at that. He was along for the ride at that point. Nothing he could do.
You see sparks because the tire was already off the wheel as they got down in the corner. Bubba Wallace on the inside, Ryan Blaney on the outside. A little bit of contact there between the two friends.
And that was right after the yellow. That wasn't, so that there was obviously some frustration there.
Bubba didn't like the handling of his truck, and it's coming to pit road. Jerry Baxter will go to work on that number 54 Toyota Care truck. Hermie, what are they saying down there?
Well, just a timely caution for the 54, Michael. From the drop of the most recent green flag, Bubba Wallace has been stopping basically in the middle of the corner. So they're going to come down and put 4 tires on this truck and make some pretty significant changes. Turns 3 and 4 was bad, but turns 1 and 2 really giving up a lot of time on this racetrack. So unfortunate for Joey Coulter, but fortunate for the 54. They can come down pit road, get this truck fixed, get a little bit of fuel, 4 tires on it, and try to get this truck where he can make his way back towards the front.
Still over 100 laps to go, so if you can get it dialed in, you got time, and by coming down and getting 4 here now might give you some options later. How about Gray Galding? Started 15th tonight, has worked his way to 9th. The youngster getting it done in the desert. We had a power outage that delayed the start of the race for over an hour. 4 cautions in the first 31 laps. For good measure, we have now added a red flag. That is the status of the race right now, the Lucas Oil 150 for the Camping World Truck Series here at Phoenix. And the reason why, we had to get a rollback over there to get the Joey Coulter machine, and we couldn't get that in position and let the trucks continue to make laps. So that is why we are under red as we send it to Hermie.
Yeah, guys, Jerry Baxter was coming on the radio speaking with Darrell Wallace Jr. Only about 14, 15 laps of green, but look at the inside of this right front tire down to the cords on the 54. So the Goodyear engineers are already down looking at it as well, but very odd for that few of laps of green flag racing for this right front tire to be looking like that. So a little bit of concern here in the 54 pit.
You can see the depth holes there, and there's a lot of rubber left on the outside of that tire, and where Hermie was talking about on the inside, you can see how much more that tire has worn. Good view of it right there, Hermie. You're exactly right here, right on that shoulder. And again, these guys had some qualifying, so they had a few laps of qualifying, but so few of green flag laps really that to see those cords.
You know, it might lead one to believe that could be a setup issue, but Jerry Baxter knows guys, they're smart. They have this probably basically the same setup that the 51 truck has that's set on the pole. So to be able to have something that significant that soon, especially when you consider the truck wouldn't turn. He was talking about it just felt like it was sliding through the corner and not working well at all. So is that a setup problem? Is there something maybe under the hood of that 54 truck that is causing that tire to wear like that? We'll have to wait and see.
Wallace, one of the drivers that came down and pitted at lap 41. He scored right now in the 23rd position, and I mentioned when he made his pit stop that may open the door for them to play some strategy as this race goes on, maybe get off sequence a little bit. But, Phil, we were talking during the break, a little bit surprised we didn't have more takers here under caution at lap 41 when the pit road opened.
Yeah, especially more of the trucks that are towards the tail end of the lead lap right now. Again, we talk about the pit window being 75 to 80 laps, something like that. All these caution laps that we've run is going to change that now. We're going to see these guys able to extend that pit window a little bit, but I am surprised that we're at least 40% into this run here. They may be able to go 85 laps now because of all the cautions. We've only had 13 green flag laps in the 42 laps we've completed.
But I like the idea of, if I'm not in the top 10, I'm going to come get some gas. Who knows?
Switch it up. Who
knows what the heck's going to happen? It appears that anything is possible this evening.
42 laps in, Eric Jones has led every lap. So when you add that to his domination here a year ago when he led 84 in total and got his first career victory, he has now led 126 of the last 152 laps in Truck Series competition at Phoenix. That's not bad at all.
Pretty impressive.
127 coming up here.
Okay. Out of 153.
We're going to continue the counting.
That's right.
Let's keep an eye on this developing story. Turns out that Eric Jones is really good.
Frustration for Mr. Coulter tonight, Ray.
Yeah, he's been released from the infield care center. That's the good news. It appeared that you had a flat tire, Joey. Did you make contact with someone, or any idea if you ran over anything?
I'm assuming I ran over something, as much as we ran all over the racetrack and up and down pit road for an hour or so. Really disappointed. We worked way too hard all year and all this weekend with our teammates to get this thing better, and just sucks. I mean, I can't explain it any better than that. It's just really disappointing.
Okay, good news is Joey Coulter's okay. The truck is not.
Things didn't go their way a couple of weeks ago at Martinsville, Ray, and a nice bounce-back run, top 10 at Texas, and that was their best finish since Pocono in July, and so you felt like maybe they were going to get it going for the stretch run, and unfortunately disappointment again tonight for Joey Coulter right now, of course, off track and being shown in the 28th position.
And all the talk between the teammates and throughout practice, he and Spencer Gallagher so happy with how things were going, and then just to start off a night like this and have it all go away, it's just really, really disappointing for Joey, and you could hear it in his voice how dejected he was.
They both qualified up front, and now carrying the flag for GMS Racing, 17-year-old Brandon Jones, who right now finds himself inside the top 10 in 10th. And here's your guy, Phil.
Yeah, Akinori Ogata, obviously a problem. His truck is stalled on the racetrack. He was being pushed by one of the safety vehicles, and I don't think it's running yet. I think he's just coasting right now.
Ogata was being shown on the lead lap in the 26th position.
Obviously, too early to to have a fuel issue.
We were supposed to go green next time around, and the caution lights are not back on yet, so it appears that we will be able to go green as Ogata limps his way off of turn 4, and it looks like he's got a pretty good chance to make it back to the pit lane.
And the officials will direct him behind the wall and out of the way, and we can go back green flag racing.
So we will get the green flag as we complete lap 45 here at Phoenix. Eric Jones, Matt Crafton, 1-2. Ben Kennedy, Tyler Reddick, John Hunter Nemechek complete the top 5.
Matt Crafton gets a strong start down on the inside. He's got his nose out in front of Eric Jones.
As good a restart as we have seen from that inside lane in Matt Crafton tonight.
Matt's had a lot of practice on these restarts there. Trying to learn how Eric Jones was restarting the race. They're dead even into 3.
See if Jones can get the advantage coming off of turn 4. Jones has led every lap tonight, and he led that one by 37 1/1000ths of a second, but this battle for the lead not over yet.
Good 1 and 2 for Matt Crafton that time.
This is tense times for me watching Matt Crafton, knowing how difficult it is to hold the truck down on that low side without getting loose. But Matt seems determined to try to get that bonus point, lead a lap. He's not going to make it. Jones pulls ahead.
He gave it a valiant effort, though, to try to get that bonus point.
The tally now for Eric Jones. He's led the first 47 laps here tonight. Ben Kennedy is settled in 3rd. John Hunter Nemechek is 4th. And Austin Dillon, who we've not talked a whole lot about tonight, has made his way into the top 5.
Yeah, started back in the 12th spot. Good run early on for Austin Dillon. See, now these guys using the apron of the racetrack, Michael, to get these trucks to turn.
I just like the job that both Ben Kennedy and John Hunter Nemechek are doing early in this race. They both look like they've got trucks that they can win with tonight. We've seen John Hunter be fast on these mile tracks, and he's doing a nice job here tonight. There's our 5th place truck of Austin Dillon running just ahead of Tyler Reddick. Looks like maybe John Hunter's a little faster than Ben right now, Phil. Heating him up a little bit.
Again, both of those guys down in 3 and 4 using the apron of the racetrack to turn these trucks. I think a lot of the teams thought this racetrack would free up a little bit as we got towards nighttime. Again, all the practicing was done during the day, but we saw some situations where obviously Spencer Gallagher was really loose.
Here we go for 3rd. John Hunter Nemechek driving below, using the apron to make the turn and drive up in front of Ben Kennedy. Give the A truck the 3rd position on track.
That was a power move. I love the way John Hunter went about that. He drove that truck plumb off the racetrack to get that truck turned and pointed in the right direction. And he took advantage of his power. And it looks like he's going to drive away from Ben Kennedy. And heck, he might be the fastest truck on the track.
See Johnny Sauter behind Tyler Reddick. That's Johnny in the white and black truck. There's Tyler Reddick, that blue truck. Johnny, obviously not too much damage from that earlier incident when he went around the outside of that spinning truck of Ben Rhodes.
It's like Brandon Jones has a fast truck tonight, too. He's all over the back of our championship contender, Ryan Blaney, as they race with Gray Galding there.
9th, 10th, and 11th on track right there from Galding on back. Galding in that white number 20. We mentioned earlier, 2nd last night in the K&N West race here at Phoenix International Raceway. Best career finish. Top 5 earlier this season on the road course in Canada.
That Ford EcoBoost camera shows us how flat that first turn looks when you're coming down that front straightaway. You got to dive way down in there before you feel like you're picking up some banking. Brandon Jones is all over the back of Blaney.
Ryan lost a little bit of momentum off of turn number 4. That's what allowed that 33 of Brandon Jones to take a peek and try to make his way by him.
52 laps into the Lucas Oil 150. Now 53. Eric Jones has led them all. He's a half a second in front of Matt Crafton. Live in Avondale, Arizona. Eric Jones leads the Lucas Oil 150 for the Camping World Truck Series. And if you have tuned in to Fox Sports 1 to watch Fox Sports Live, it's going to be a while. We had a delay in tonight's race because of a power outage in the area for more than an hour and a bit of a slow start. Already 4 cautions for 33 laps. We had a red flag that lasted almost 4 minutes. but we are starting to catch our stride in the midst of our longest green flag run of the night, closing on 15 laps under the green flag. We told you Eric Jones is leading, but good battles all around the track right now.
Yep. Cole Custer, that 00 on the inside of Greg Gaulding. You see the brake rotor glow from Cole Custer there, using a lot of brakes for that 00 truck.
And that's Ben Rhodes in the other black truck there just behind this battle. Ben's recovered from that spin earlier, and he still looks like he's a little bit loose, but making some good progress.
Ben was running 5th, spun, restarted outside the top 25, and here he is in the 13th position.
And right behind him is Bubba Wallace. Bubba pitted on lap number 41, so he's the highest running truck that came to pit road on our most recent caution flag. Remember, put 4 tires on that truck. Right now, Bubba's trying to make his way back up towards the top 10.
The pit window here at Phoenix was somewhere around 80 laps, but we obviously have had a large number of cautions which help your fuel mileage. So where do we think we are if this thing is to stay green, which is not out of the realm of possibility at Phoenix?
I would just guess they would have to be on pit road by around lap 90.
I would say maybe 85 to 90.
Right along in there, which means, like you said, Adam, we run this thing out for a bit and don't get a caution. A lot of people are going to wish they'd have taken the chance and come to pit road back when Bubba Wallace and those guys did. This could be a big advantage for Bubba if we stay green. But Bubba's got some issues of his own. We saw that tire wear that he had, tremendous amount of tire wear for the amount of laps we had on those tires under green. So have to watch that story as well.
Tyler Reddick 6th there in that blue 19. 7th consecutive race he's competed in the Camping World Truck Series after being hit and miss early in the year. And in 5 of those 6 races, he's finished inside the top 10. The consistency has put him in position for success. Doesn't matter practice, qualifying, or race. This kid has really shown his stuff and doing it again here tonight.
We saw him a couple years ago in the K&N race at Rockingham. His first K&N start ever at Rockingham, which is a pretty challenging, tough, abrasive, slick racetrack. And he won that race in his first ever K&N start.
What I love about these young kids, Michael, they have no conscience. We talked to John Hunter Nemechek. He said, I want to win tonight. We talked to Tyler Reddick about next year when he'll run full time. He said, my focus, bringing home the title. Doesn't matter who they're racing against. They want to go toe-to-toe and go out and compete, and they've done it quite well.
I think this year is just to put an exclamation point on the kids that have raced up through probably starting on the internet and wound their way into go-karts and then eventually the K&N series. And what a great job NASCAR has done structuring series for these guys to step up to the truck racing with the 16-year-olds like Cole Custer winning at Loudon, Greg Gaulding a top 5 finish up in Canada. They're here and they're fast and they're going to stay around a long time. And I think it's really good for the sport to see the youth storming into the truck series.
And don't forget Bandoleros and Legends. That's the route that Greg Gaulding took to the K&N series, was Bandoleros and Legend cars.
Saw that 00 of Cole Custer go around Greg Gaulding. He's now 11th after starting in the 19th position. Ben Rhodes continues his climb. He too gets around Gaulding and is now scored 12th. And next in line, Bubba Wallace came down pit road at lap 41. Those fresher tires paying some dividends.
See Bubba make that truck turn in the center of the corner, able to drive up underneath Greg Gaulding and beats him down in the turn number 1.
Looks like that truck is rotating better since Jerry Baxter and the boys put 4 tires on it and adjusted it a bit. He's been able to make some really good progress on the bottom of the racetrack. And that's something he couldn't do when this race started.
Flash around the lap truck of Tyler Tanner. That's the 36 you saw on track. Tanner struggling a bit tonight. Back outside the top 20. 67 laps complete here at Phoenix. It's the Eric Jones Invitational. He's led every circuit so far tonight. Couple laps short of halfway in the Lucas Oil 150. Eric Jones, your race leader. Matt Crafton is second. John Hunter Nemechek is third. Ben Kennedy is fourth. Austin Dillon completes the top 5. Then it's Tyler Reddick, Johnny Sauter, Ryan Blaney, Brendan Newberry, and Brandon Jones, the top 10.
Probably some anxious moments down in the pits for the crew chiefs of these guys running up front as we take a look at our 3rd place driver right now, John Hunter Nemechek. We've completed 74 laps. We talk about the pit window being extended probably to maybe 85 to 90 laps. We're not that far away from green flag pit stops. Remember Bubba Wallace pitted on lap 41? He's in good shape. Ben Rhodes right now running 12th pit back on lap number 23. So they've got a little bit of cushion. They can go a little bit farther.
And that 8 truck has been solid all night long, Ray.
86 is the magic number for them. That's when they need to come down pit road. And this is the same truck that John Hunter used to get a 5th place at New Hampshire. And yesterday in practice, they had a big difference in the brake temperatures from front to rear. So he dialed about 3 rounds of brake bias into the front, and he said, man, did that make a big difference on how nice my truck entered. He said tonight he's also been playing with brake bias a little bit, and as the race goes on, he said his truck is getting freer and freer as we go. Hermie?
Well, Ray, Darrell Wallace Jr. brought the 54 to pit road on lap 40. We talked about his right front tire being corded on the inside, moving towards the back of the field. A good break for that team to come down pit road. But after that pit stop, NASCAR officials came down to the pit stop of the 54 and confiscated a fuel can. You can see the conversation going on between the fuel man on the 54 and the NASCAR official. The issue is the team removed that clear vent hose. You see right there above the hands of the NASCAR official, removed that vent hose while they were purging the can after a stop, meaning when they were taking the fuel out of the can they had used. Apparently, this team had been warned about this issue in Texas, and as you can tell, NASCAR has confiscated a fuel can of the 54. So good break, but a lot of issues and a little bit of drama going on in the 54 pit right now while we're under green.
Thank you, Hermie. So Ray said lap 86 for John Hunter Nemechek, and I got to believe everybody's pretty close to that same number.
Oh, caution's out. No, I guess not. Is that what he said?
That's what I thought he said on the radio, but I'm looking down at the flag stand. We stay green.
We don't. If we're Bubba Wallace,
we sure don't want a caution.
We're pit roads. If we're some of these guys, we don't want a caution. Bubba's running the fastest laps on the track right now. Some of the fastest with those fresher tires, and life is going to be good for this team if the green flag stays out.
So if we do stay green here, these drivers that haven't pitted yet, without a doubt, track position being as important as it is, this is a one-stop race for them.
Yeah, I think so. Absolutely. Right now, seeing some smoke coming out of 13 of Jeb Burton.
We don't have an issue.
Quite a bit of smoke. Something's dragging. He was involved.
What it is, the splitter's gone.
Probably the splitter's broken. Yeah, that's what it is. It might have slid up under the front of the truck. It's sparking there, so dragging the ground. Get to pit road here.
He's 20th. 2 laps down as Jeb Burton, involved in an incident earlier tonight with Spencer Gallagher and Timothy Peters. They've done a nice job trying to keep him in the game, but unfortunately losing a lot of position on this green flag run, and now it's gone from bad to worse.
There, dude. You're on the nose. That's why it's smoking.
Our 4th place truck of Ben Kennedy is the first one of our lead lap trucks to come down pit road here.
That would be a scheduled stop. Hermie, here he comes.
Ben Kennedy makes his first stop on the green, slides into the pit box. A good day so far for Ben Kennedy. His truck's been a little bit on the tight side, but he had a solid qualifying effort, qualified 3rd, trying to maintain that spot in the top 5. It's an air pressure adjustment only. It's Sunoco fuel for Ben Kennedy.
So Ben Kennedy makes his stop, resetting the top 5 now. Eric Jones, Matt Crafton, John Hunter Nemechek, Austin Dillon is now 4th. Tyler Reddick is 5th. On board with his teammate, Ryan Blaney. That's our Ford EcoBoost camera. Blaney, who started 17th, now finds himself in 7th and methodically working his way to the front.
Yeah, the truck I've been keeping my eye on is Johnny Sauter. He just seems to have a really good truck as this race has got some green flag laps to it. He's able to cut the bottom really good, better than the trucks he's around. So see if Johnny can continue marching forward.
Here's Dillon for his pit stop, Ray.
His Rude Chevrolet was really, really tight. So Austin Dillon has said, give me a big track bar adjustment and air pressure. We got to try to loosen this thing up so I can roll through the center of the corner. They'll put 4 tires in Sunoco fuel and he's on his way.
Some problems on the right front there for Austin Dillon as Gray Gaulding comes down for his scheduled service. All these drivers making pit stops for the first time tonight.
You know, right now, Tyler Reddick runs in the 4th spot. There's Eric Jones, left side of your screen, our leader. Tyler Reddick is 20 seconds behind Eric Jones. So when Eric Jones and Matt Crafton come to pit road, as well as John Hunter Nemechek, looks like the 13 has some more issues there. Don't know if that's related to the splitter or not. He just came down pit road a few moments ago. I believe there's more than a splitter problem for the 13 of Jeb Burton.
Start getting the radiator off of the crash cart.
Sounds like maybe the radiator's drug a hole in it or something there. He's coming to pit road. And here comes Matt Crafton as well. You can see our championship point leader there making his way on the pit road.
Started second, been running there all night long. Crafton going to make his first pit stop of the night under green. It will come at lap 87 for that 88 team, Hermie.
Solid night for the 88. Adam qualified second, been running second since the drop of the green flag. He's been complaining about the truck being tight through the center of the corner. He's been moving around on the racetrack to try to find some more grip for the 88. It'll be 4 tires Sunoco fuel, air pressure adjustment for Matt Crafton, Ray.
Cole Custer said he needs a little better balance when he comes off. He needs forward grip in the 00 Haas Automation Chevrolet. He has pitted here on lap 87, the 9 with 4 tires and a track bar adjustment. Looks like they will get that service done, but it was a little slow getting around to the left side for Newberry. Here's the 20 back in. They're coming in. Had a lug nut missing from the left front, so they had to re-pit. That'll be costly for Greg Alding.
Major price to pay when that happens on a cycle of green flag pit stops. Brandon Jones spent a lot of time inside the top 10. The rookie making his stop at lap 88.
And our leader, Eric Jones, continues to make laps around this racetrack.
John Hunter Nemechek slid it in sideways, but he did stay in the box. As I said, they're going to make a little air pressure adjustment also for him. They put 4 tires on it. He came in at lap 89. They were able to stretch it just a little bit.
The drivers that are yet to pit are leader Eric Jones, Tyler Reddick, Johnny Sauter. Ryan Blaney has not been to pit road, and now Johnny Sauter will come down the pit lane, doing so at lap 90. What's he saying, Ray?
Well, just keep in mind that they did have a problem in practice, so the guys really had to work hard on this truck. But boy, have they had a lot of luck. Johnny Sauter said when he drives this truck, it's been pretty much all top 5s. They were 3rd at Dover, 4th at St. Louis, and 5th at Bristol. So that's why they said it was so important to fix this one. They'll get a clean tear off for him, also pull a tiny bit of tape off. He was running about 230 on Watertown.
Eric Jones gives up the race lead to come down pit road before we cover his stop to Tyler Reddick, the 19, Ray.
Doesn't have the forward bite that he would like. He said when he tries to come off of turn number 2, it's okay, but coming off 4, not so good. They're going to go the track bar up a couple of rounds. That'll loosen up that Reese toe power number 19. Hermie?
The race leader is Eric Jones. He's been out front the entire night, but his truck is still tight, especially in turns 3 and 4. No front grip. He's been reporting to his crew chief, Eric Phillips. Air pressure adjustment, 4 tires of Sunoco fuel for your race leader, Eric Jones.
And with him coming down pit road, that puts Ryan Blaney in the race lead. The first driver other than Eric Jones to lead tonight. That means a bonus point, and just as he gets the point, here he comes down pit road. And actually, Blaney never led a lap, so he doesn't get a bonus point. And here he comes for his stop at lap 92. Hermie?
He comes into the pit stall, really surprised they did not lead a lap on the racetrack. That was the conversation between Ryan and crew chief Chad Kendrick. They wanted to stay and lead a lap after the 51 of Eric Jones came to pit road. But this truck is loose. You can see a wedge adjustment in the right rear. 4 tires in Sunoco fuel. The 29 trying to keep pace with the 88 in this championship battle.
So the new race leader is Darrell Wallace Jr. on a different cycle. He came down under caution at lap 41. And behind him, drivers that had already made a pit stop tonight. Ben Rhodes, who came in at lap 23. Brian Silas, who came in at lap 16. And then Eric Jones, who has dominated tonight. And you see him here knifing his way through traffic.
Yeah, he's lapping the 19 of Tyler Reddick right now.
Reddick's down in the 14th spot, so already lapped up into the top 15. I really don't understand why Blaney didn't stay out longer and just lead a lap. He was 1 lap away from it.
They may have thought they did, but Eric Jones probably led the race on pit road. He was so far ahead.
Wallace, the leader in the Lucas Oil 150 at Phoenix. Under caution for the 5th time tonight. The reason why, the 9 of Brennan Newberry spun off turn 4. He was scored in 14th at the time of the spin, 1 lap down. 6 trucks being shown right now on the lead lap.
A little bit of contact right there. John Hunter on fresh tires gets into the left rear quarter panel of the 9 of Brendan Newberry, and around he goes. Brendan does a nice job not getting into the inside barrels there. He holds the brakes, Michael, like he's supposed to.
Yeah, and we've been watching the times of John Hunter Nemechek. He was the fastest truck on the track lap after lap. Those fresh tires got him in a position where he ran up on Newberry so quickly, he got into the inside of him.
We know the top 3 are going to pit here because they haven't pitted since the most recent since 41.
That ended a run of 55 consecutive laps under green.
Do your pit stop.
Only 6 drivers on the lead lap. First truck 1 lap down, Ben Kennedy. He will get the free pass.
I'm going to do 4 tires.
We'll step aside, reset the running order when we come back. 101 of 150 complete for the trucks at Phoenix. Our 5th caution of the night coming out with just over 100 laps complete of the 150 in tonight's Lucas Oil 150, and it's made for some interesting strategy calls. Darrell Wallace Jr., Ben Rhodes, Brian Silas all pitted, but we knew they would. They couldn't go the distance on fuel, and a couple of those guys getting very close on their fuel window. Eric Jones stays out along with Matt Crafton and John Hunter Nemechek, and we thought they probably would. Free pass here goes to Ben Kennedy. Few guys take the wave around. At the end of the day, after we go back green, 11 trucks on the lead lap. Let's get a report on Darrell Wallace Jr. and their stop. Hermie?
And Adam, what a night it's been on pit road for the 54. We saw the tire issues on the right front. We saw a fuel can get confiscated out of the pit stall on this most recent trip to pit road. A track bar adjustment to try to get this truck better on entry and better on exit. And also they raised the hood and raised the front of the truck about 3 or 4 rounds, it looked like. They're trying to get this truck off the splitter. Darrell had been commenting that the truck in the center of the corner was riding on the splitter and was causing it to slide up the racetrack. So major changes and adjustments for the 54. Also man to pit road, Ben Rhodes came to pit road. Good caution for him. He comes down pit road, 4 tires, Sunoco fuel, and a track bar adjustment.
Just a dominating performance so far for Eric Jones, though. He had driven off to a huge lead, really solid truck. But now, Phil, we've had a chance to make an adjustment to our truck. We've got some guys reset. Be interesting to see if Matt Crafton can match the pace of Eric Jones. And also another truck I think you need to keep your eye on is John Hunter Nemechek. He's in the 3rd position, and he is fast. He was running lap times comparable to Eric Jones, so we could have a guy here at John Hunter who could challenge.
Back in the game as well, Cole Custer started 19th, took the wave around. He will be inside the top 10 when we go green. Other drivers joining him on the lead lap that took the wave around: Austin Dillon, Ryan Blaney, and Johnny Sauter.
What about our man Brian Silas up in the top 10? He's in the 5th position, and he's been solid all night, was able to use some strategy and keep himself on the lead lap. So great run for Brian. Again, we're seeing that more and more this year, where Brian is able to race his way into the top 10 and now all the way into the top 5.
I don't want to beat a dead horse, but it's been an amazing year for Kyle Busch Motorsports. Last week, dominating at Texas, leading 131 of 152 laps when you combine the laps out front for Darrell Wallace Jr. and our eventual race winner, Kyle Busch. And here tonight, Eric Jones, Darrell Wallace Jr. combining to lead all of our 106 laps, 94 of those going to the man who will restart on point.
I think he's beating a dead horse.
Well, I don't think Kyle Busch Motorsports wants to be a dead horse.
I wasn't insinuating that.
I think they're happy, man. They want you to beat that horse. That team is, like you said, Adam, it's just been an amazing year, and that continues. But look over there to the left. The guy racing for a championship, steady, consistent. Mr. I ain't going to make any mistakes, and I'm going to get all the points I can to lock this championship up. That's exactly what Matt Crafton's doing tonight.
You'd think maybe conservative because you're running for a championship. I go back to that last restart. No chance. Crafton's going after this one. He not only wants the title, he wants another checkered flag.
We got some issues with the lineup here. You can see Austin Dillon is 3 wide there with Darrell Wallace and Tyler Reddick, and that won't work. NASCAR will have to get that squared away, and we'll run another lap under caution.
We'll step aside. Green flag when we come back. It's been a long night. in Phoenix, hasn't it? I mean, we had that long delay with the lights going out earlier, had the red flag, a handful of cautions, and now as we get set for the restart with right around 40 laps to go, hopefully when we get the green flag, the guys on track cannot agree on where they should be lined up. Darrell Wallace Jr. He's owned every position inside the top 10 as we get set for this restart. And I think finally they've put him in the proper place in that outside lane alongside Brian Silas.
And we are lined up and ready to go. And, you know, we saw some intense action when the race started with side-by-side trucks down in the corners and how hard they are to hang on to. We've ratcheted things up quite a lot now. We've only got 40 laps to go. It's go or go home time now.
Eric Jones again choosing the outside lane for the restart. Already led 97 of 109 laps tonight. And again, it's crafted alongside. Green flag with 40 remaining at Phoenix.
Eric Jones has led so much of this race. He does not want to give it up on this restart. Solid restart for Eric Jones.
I love to watch those guys cut the corner in turn 2. Teenagers side by side. Yeah, they're in third.
Whoa, Brian Silas really loose back in the pack. See him sliding up the hill there, causing a traffic jam off turn 4.
Silas dropped back to 9th. 11 trucks on the lead lap.
What about our man Ben Rhodes racing there alongside John Hunter Nemechek? A spin early in the race when he was running the top 5, and now he's rebounded. He's back in action.
Mason Mingus, perhaps a little contact with Tyler Young, nearly went sideways.
Johnny Sauter jumps to the inside of Brian Silas. That's Johnny in the 98 truck getting by the 99 of Silas.
And that was for position on board here with Gray Gaulding. He's not on the lead.
Trouble.
2 laps down, and there goes Silas around. Caution out for the 6th time tonight.
That truck was really loose from the very initial restart. We saw it over in turn 3 and 4. Then I looked at it a couple other times, and he was sideways. Right front tire is down right now.
They were battling for 10th. This caution big for Tyler Reddick. First truck 1 lap down. He will be on the lead lap with Eric Jones, who is our race leader. Under caution for the 6th time tonight here at Phoenix. Darrell Wallace Jr. back on pit road under caution here, Hermie.
Yeah, the 54 back on pit road again, undoing some of the changes they made on the last pit stop. They've lowered the nose back down a little bit, and they raised the track bar back up on the right side. The previous stop, they had lowered the right side track bar because the truck was too loose. So 54's had some issues, Ray, but they haven't given up yet.
Johnny Sauter just came down pit road on lap 115. They put 4 fresh tires on his Nexton Aerospace Toyota. He said maybe this will give us a little bit of advantage. He just could not get through the center of the corner, so Jeff Hensley made some chassis adjustments while they were on the pits.
Big break for these guys that got the free pass. Now you can come down and change tires.
And I like what Johnny Sauter's done. I think that truck's really going to be competitive and fast here at the end. Some fresh tires on it even makes it that much better. So you're right, Adam, as the race winds down and you get an opportunity to do something different than the leaders, you got to take that chance. You got to mix it up.
Austin Dillon, another driver that took the wave around on that last caution, taking advantage of this one to come down pit road and get tires. And Ben Kennedy, who was the free pass under our last caution, didn't come down then. He could have by rule, elects to come down under this caution at lap 115. He gets tires as well.
I think right now Cole Custer, the 00, Ryan Blaney, the 29, are only 2 trucks that took the wave around on the last caution that did not come to pit road on this caution.
They might have made adjustments to their truck so far tonight that have worked for them. They like what they're feeling. They're going to leg it out from that position.
There's Cole Custer right there, our winner at Loudon, to become the youngest winner in the history of the truck series. Actually, all 3 major touring series of NASCAR.
Talk about sneaking up on him. This kid started 19th, battled through some issues and all the traffic you fight here at a place like Phoenix, and now all of a sudden we're down to roughly 30 laps to go, and he finds himself inside the top 5. If you had told us beginning of the night he'd be top 5 with 30 to go, we wouldn't have been surprised. He's had to work a Whole lot harder, though, than anybody would have guessed.
And another guy, same situation, Ben Rhodes, with a spin early in the race. I mean, the stories at the front of this pack are as interesting as the season has been to me. Guys overcoming adversity, guys putting themselves in a position to get a big win. John Hunter Nemechek, I believe his truck was one of the fastest ones before this series of cautions that have come out now. So see if he can go contend for the win.
Only 3 previous starts this year for Ben Rhodes, and in his career in the Truck Series, 2 of those resulting in top 10s.
Matt Crafton's feeling old. Here's the reason why. Not because of the long night in Phoenix, because he's restarting inside the top 5 with 4 teenagers. And we will get the green with 32 laps remaining here at Phoenix. Row 1, Eric Jones, Matt Crafton, John Hunter Nemechek, Ben Rhodes, Cole Custer, the top 5, and 6th outside row 3, Ryan Blaney, another one of our championship contenders.
These guys have gotten really good at restarts now, though.
Eric Jones certainly has.
Whoa, did you see John Hunter run up the racetrack, get into Ryan Blaney a bit?
How about Cole Custer the move with a shortcut?
Restarted 5th, put him 3rd as we head into turn 3. On board with Ryan Blaney.
Look at that Nemechek truck. Cuts that bottom, is able to get around. Golly, that's tight racing. He was able to get around Rhodes, but then he ran into the side of Cole Custer.
Front row seat for it all, another youngster in Ben Rhodes. Ryan Blaney trying to take advantage, drives to the inside and gets a spot.
Ryan Blaney moves up into the top 5 as we continue to watch the 8 of Nemechek and the doubles here of Custer racing hard.
Neither backing off with 31 laps remaining here at Phoenix.
Man, this is making me nervous. I know how hard it is to do what John Hunter's doing. He wants that spot bad, but that truck wants to get loose down on the bottom. And if he gets loose, look who's right there. Ryan Blaney, one of the guys racing for a championship.
Just behind this group, Darrell Wallace Jr., several pit stops here late in the race. He's 7th right now. And not a lot of movement for those guys that came down and got tires under that last caution. Johnny Sauter, Austin Dillon, 8th and 9th respectively. And right behind them, Ben Kennedy, who also made a pit stop at lap 115.
Yeah, Dillon and Sauter side by side in that battle with fresh tires.
Nemechek's not to be denied. He comes back to the inside of Custer again. Oh.
Meanwhile, Eric Jones has stretched his advantage over second place Matt Crafton to 0.7 of a second.
Nemechek finally made it by, and Custer's going to do the crossover.
Oh.
Nemechek really slides wide here after that contact, nearly hit the wall.
Yeah, Nemechek ran into Cole Custer before they got down in turn number 1.
And that bent his left front fender in, Phil. That's on that left front tire.
Front rudder, left front rudder.
Boy, 28 laps to go. That's a long way to ask that thing to hold up.
He doesn't want to come to pit road and give up that track position. Looks like a pretty significant tire rub, though.
Yeah, and that was some serious racing, too. Nemechek trying to get that spot away, and just when he cleared Custer, his truck got loose off turn 4. It opened the door for Custer to take it back.
Closing in behind, Austin Dillon, who's 8th. Eric Jones out front, his advantage nearly a second over second place Matt Crafton with 26 to go. We are back live in Phoenix. And in case you were wondering, yes, the lights have gone out again at Phoenix International Raceway. And with 24 laps to go, we are going to go under the red flag and sit and wait. And now, a lot of questions to be answered as to how to handle the rest of this one. And we already had a delay of more than an hour before the race even began. Drivers not even inside their trucks. We hadn't even had our pre-race ceremonies. A huge power outage in the West Valley portion of Phoenix halted this race before we'd even thought about getting the green flag in the air. And with 24 to go, great job by NASCAR and the safety officials to get the caution out, because with no warning at all, boom, power outage and the lights went out.
Yeah, the caution flag was out within moments of that happening. So, unfortunately, all the lights didn't go out. The emergency lights stayed on the racetrack, so you can see a little bit. These drivers could see a little bit around the racetrack.
You know what Eric Jones is saying right now?
Go ahead,
Past
call
halfway.
it. Let's call this thing.
You know what he's also saying? I beat these boys pretty bad all night long. I think it's okay if we call it.
One more time, let's look at what happened. Eric Jones leading. What could possibly go wrong? The lights going out.
John Hunter Nemechek with a tire rub. We were concerned about it making it to the finish. And that's a break for that young man. Hello.
Love to hear the communication from the spotter stand on this. All right, let's hear from Eric Jones, the man who's sitting in the catbird seat right now, Hermie.
Well, I got his crew chief, Eric Phillips, and you guys have put the lights out on the rest of the field anyway, but have you ever seen anything quite like this trying to get a race started and now trying to get this race finished?
No, we had a deal like this at St. Louis, but we lost power, never got it back, had to run it the next day. But no, you know, with what happened there the first lap, or I guess before we even got to the green, the guys wrecked, and you know, we were under caution forever. And then now this light deal again. So hopefully we can get back going. If it doesn't go, or if they can get the lights back going, we can go get back green and finish this thing off. We've had an awesome Toyota Tundra. These guys built this thing. It's brand new. It's the first brand new truck we've had on the 51 deal this year, and just got to thank everybody at the shop and at the Fab Shop that built this thing.
Any concerns if the truck does sit here for 20 or 30 minutes on pit road, some air pressure or different? What could possibly go wrong?
No, I'm not too worried about it. It'll be all right. I don't want to cool off much more. We were running really fast laps, faster than most of the guys qualified there the last 3 or 4 laps. And, you know, you'll start getting on the splitter or something if we go much faster than what we're going. And just we don't need to be going any faster right now. So we'll see what happens. But got an awesome truck. Eric's done an awesome job, and just like to finish this thing off.
That's Eric Phillips sitting pretty right now, Ray.
I'm sitting on top of the pit box with crew chief Jeff Hensley. You guys at lap 115 decided to come down and get tires, and wondering about your strategy there, and do you think it can pay off?
Well, I mean, if we can get going again, I think if we could run the rest of it under the green, it might pay off for us. But biggest reason we come down pit road, we're having brake issues, and we're going to need to get some tape off the brake ducts, and just, you know, it never hurts to have 4 new Goodyears on it. So hopefully if we can get back going here, it might gain us 3 or 4 spots. I mean, we're about a 6th or 7th place truck. But after the day we had yesterday, I'll get out of here. I'll take a top 10 and get out of here and go back home.
There was a lot of damage to that truck, Jeff. The guys worked really hard, and just, you know, the whole thing about that truck probably better than the backup.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, this is like a short track truck, and our backup was an intermediate truck. So it didn't do any structural damage, no frame damage. It didn't even knock the toe end out on it when we got in the fence, but it did do a lot of body damage. But, you know, all the guys here at Thor Sports from all 3 teams pitched in, and, you know, we got the thing put back together and went through tech this morning, and the quarter panel heights are right and the splitter heights were right. So, and we've been decent. I mean, we drove up to about 5th or 6th there, but I think that's probably about all we got. But like I say, after a day like we had yesterday, and if we can get out of here with a top 5 or top 10, I'll be tickled to death.
All right, good luck to you. And, you know, obviously Johnny Sauter said putting the helmet on this weekend and getting back in the truck, one of the toughest things he's ever had to do, as they had the memorial service for his father, Jim, on Tuesday.
And we all pass along our condolences as well to the Sauter family. Thank you, Ray. And now our Ram Guts and Glory. And I'll tell you what, there are a lot of items you could cover in Ram Guts and Glory tonight, but I think the guy that's pretty much covered every category, the man that leads this race, Eric Jones.
Yeah, Eric Jones has dominated this race. The only laps that he did not lead was after he made a pit stop. Bubba Wallace was able to stay on the racetrack because he had made an earlier pit stop. An amazing performance by that young man in that 51 truck.
All 126 laps tonight, led by drivers from Kyle Busch Motorsports. As you said, Phil, the other 12 coming for Bubba Wallace in that cycle of green flag pit stops.
What about the lights went out? He never let off. He said, I can still see okay. I'm going to go for it. Hammer down in the corner. That's adrenaline and energy. The young man is having an amazing night, a dominating performance, and certainly hated to see the caution fly.
We've seen this movie before, but the lights, they're coming back on. We may do some more racing yet. We'll find out after the break. Under the red flag at Phoenix International Raceway, the lights have gone out one more time. 24 laps remaining in the Lucas Oil 150. So let's get our Lucas Oil race break.
And that's exactly what we're in. Is a race break.
Our second red flag. And we have now gotten the word from NASCAR. Race 21 in 2014 for the Camping World Truck Series is official. Can you say desert domination? Eric Jones, a winner here for the second consecutive season.
A new all-time record for wins in the series by one team. 13th win for Kyle Busch Motorsports.
And I guarantee Eric Jones looked at that official and said, "Are you sure?" I mean, that's some really good news. He's had the dominant truck. He's leading the race. You don't have to go back. You've won. You're positive I've won, right? And that's the NASCAR officials. And yes, we are positive. What a great performance tonight by Eric Jones.
The breakdown for Kyle Busch Motorsports. 7 victories for the boss, Rowdy. 3 now for Eric Jones, who gets the checkered flag tonight. And Darrell Wallace Jr. also got the hat trick in 2014. Matt Crafton, a runner-up tonight. Let's hear from him, Ray.
Second place finish tonight for Matt Crafton, another one of those. And I'm curious, would you like to have seen this thing go all the way, Matt?
Oh, absolutely, 1,000%. I've been working on my restart. Like I said, I had raced under him for a little while. I know if I could have got some track position on him, we could have beat him. I truly believe that. I mean, he was definitely fast, but right there on that last run, like I said, I definitely felt we had something for him if we'd had track position. Tired of finishing second to that damn 51 now.
Okay, unofficially a 25-point lead for Matt Crafton over Blaney.
And for Matt Crafton, Ray, it's his 4th runner-up finish of the season. Lights or no lights, the celebration is on at the Desert Mile. Eric Jones with his 3rd win of the year and a record-breaking performance. Win number 13 in 2014 for Kyle Busch Motorsports. We've got full post-race coverage on the way. So we are back live in Phoenix. Thank you, guys. More Fox Sports Live on the way as we update the rest of the world in sports. But for now, some post-race coverage for the Camping World Truck Series here in the desert. Eric Jones came tonight, started on the pole, and dominated, leading 114 of what ended up being a 126-lap event. Every lap turn tonight led by Kyle Busch Motorsports, and their onslaught in 2014 continues.
It's really typical of the season, and we talk about 13 wins in 21 races for Kyle Busch Motorsports. It's been a long time since we've seen a dominating season like this.
That's certainly the case, and especially with a young driver like Bubba Wallace and Eric Jones pitching in and winning almost half of those races. What a solid organization Kyle Busch has built there.
Ryan Blaney started 17th, but stays alive in the championship chase. Another top 5 for him, Ray.
Yeah, he'll still have a shot at it when we go to Homestead. Coming home 4th tonight after a tough qualifying effort. You happy with that?
I would have liked to race the last 20 laps. I'm not sure why we called it off 20 laps early. I thought we had a pretty good Cooper Standard Ford F-150 there, and we're going to be starting in a pretty good lane. I thought we could have at least got to second. I thought we were that good. I don't know why we called it, but everyone at BKR did a good job of getting us a good race car from where we qualified, and it was a long night, especially running a lot of yellows and dodging wrecks, and we probably run about 50 laps on the yellow, so we didn't have a lot of time to try to get up there, but I just really wish we could have run the last 20 laps.
All right, so far the consensus down here is they wanted to finish.
A frustrated Ryan Blaney. He knows he needs to go to Homestead and win if he's going to have a chance at the championship. And if he goes down there and gets the victory, does everything he can do, Matt Crafton just needs to finish 21st, regardless of what Ryan does. And Crafton will take home the title for the second consecutive year. His lead, 25 points with 1 race to go.
That still could lead to some sleepless nights for Matt Crafton, knowing that everything has to go well for him to be able to finish in the 21st position. Something breaks, something out of your control. That could be difficult.
Did Ben Kennedy up a spot to 8th, gets by Jeb Burton. Mason Mingus rounds out the top 10 here.
Timothy Peters stays in the top 5 despite the fact that they had problems here tonight. His string of consecutive top 5 finishes is over, but they did battle back to finish 19th after having those early problems here in Phoenix.
He's 46 points ahead of Joey Coulter right now, so we know that he's going to be in the top 5 at the end of the year.
Let's go down to victory lane and hear from Eric Jones.
Eric Jones just getting to victory lane, an extended burnout, and rightfully so on the racetrack here at Phoenix. He climbs out victorious. Eric, what a dominating performance. 2 power outages, red flags, nothing could keep this truck out of the lead and out of victory lane tonight. Congratulations on an awesome performance.
I appreciate it. It's pretty cool to pick up another win here at Phoenix. Definitely a great way to top off the year for me in this truck, and just a good way to start off the 2015 season. So just a great Dollar General Tundra. Just cool to have them on board. They have a promotion going on for Veterans Day, 11% off for everybody over there, and just Toyota, Joe Gibbs Racing's engines, everybody at KBM do a great job. It's awesome to break the truck record. 13 wins in a season. Cool to be the one that got to do that. Camping World, the fans, everybody involved. Just an awesome night. Glad we could bring it up. Wish we could have raced 26 more, but you know it's. I felt like we definitely had a dominant truck, and we could have brought it home.
Eric Jones starts first and ends first. He's in victory lane at Phoenix.
The boss will be back behind the wheel of the 51 next week, and if he finishes 14th, it will be Kyle Busch Motorsports that gets the Owners' Championship. Let's go back to Los Angeles.